Welcome to the Protagonist Pub. My name is Tammy, and this is where characters gather. So, today is going to be a little bit different. I am not really going to talk about books. So, feel free to skip this video entirely if you want to. It's going to be a life update, some sharing, oversharing, crafting. So, it is inspired by both Katie over at Paperbacks and Ponytails and Amanda at Book Lover Amanda. So, I thought I would join them and, share, be a real human. Well, that's not entirely true. If I was being 100% normally me, I wouldn't have any makeup on, but then I would scare people, so I took pity on the world and put on some makeup this morning. Be that it's May. First, let's talk about the health section of this video. I am one of those people who have always been on the heavier side of my life. My entire life, I have never been stick skinny. I'm not tall. I've always been the heavier child. And that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. In 2018, we moved to Pennsylvania. Dave accepted a job on Wall Street. Told him there was no way I was living in New York. Certainly not New York City. So we lived in Pennsylvania. He commuted a couple days a week. And it was fine. First 11 months we were there, we were still living on the toy hauler. And that was fine. Life was good. Used to living on the toy hauler, not a big deal. And I broke my arm. Less than 3 weeks it being into Pennsylvania. It was a very bad break. I broke my humerus. I'm not going to get into the huge long story. Let's just say it was not a pleasant introduction to Pennsylvania. When I broke my arm and we were home from the emergency room and we were getting in the truck to do something. I can't remember what. Thunder. So we were getting in the truck to go do something. My arm was, it was probably 2 or 3 days after I broke my arm. And I told him at that time, I said, I'm ready to leave. He overruled me. So we stayed in Pennsylvania. We didn't leave Pennsylvania until September 17th, 2021. I was never more thrilled and overjoyed to leave someplace in my life than I was to leave Pennsylvania. We left Pennsylvania, we got to Texas, life immediately improved in every possible aspect. As soon as we got here, I immediately lost 15, 20 pounds. Just within a month and a half. Part of that was because I was no longer stressed. The environment was just better for us. Moving is stressful. So, and plus you never stop moving when you're unpacking a house. You are always busy. So all of that helped, and I immediately shed at least 20, if not pounds. And then it kind of plateaued. I would lose a couple, I would go back up, I would lose a couple, but it was pretty steady. And then, so come February of this year, so we're now in 2023, Dave one day decides he's going to intermittent fast. I roll my eyes in the back of my head and I wish him luck, and he somehow immediately sheds 10 pounds. Now, mind you, when we were younger, he could go to bed and wake up the next morning and be 12 pounds lighter. Yeah, not something I'm ever going to forget. So, end of February, beginning of March, he's like, oh, by the way, honey, I'm going on carnivore. And I only want to eat beef, bacon, and butter. What? I have all of these stores. We have just spent the last year replenishing the pantry and stocking grains and oats and, all of that stuff. Nope, I'm only eating meat. Okay. So, Dave is a heavier guy. He's 6'2", for most of our relationship, has always been big. He also has always suffered, for as long as I have known him, from plaque psoriasis. And it has been so bad that he would take a credit card, and it was really on his calf. And he would just itch his calf with a credit card and just peel off layers of skin. Not trying to gross you out, but it was bad. There were open sores. It looked horrible. You would think he had a staph infection. It was just plaque psoriasis. So, he goes on carnivore, and within 2 weeks, he has lost 10 to 15 pounds, and you can visibly see it on him. He has lost 10 to 15 pounds. His leg is clearing up, like it's almost completely healed in 2 weeks. He's lost a lot of inflammation. He doesn't hurt as much. So I'm a little intrigued. I'm not, it's pretty boring, but I decided to join him, at least to some extent. So I go on it middle of March, and sure enough, within 3 weeks for me, the inflammation that has been part of my life for as long as I can remember is gone. Doesn't come back, it's gone. And I've never been very strict about carnivore. I've always cheated a little because life without tacos and chocolate is inconceivable to me. But it still works for me. I've also changed the way I eat. I generally eat a very late lunch, and that's usually, I don't eat dinner 95% of the time because I'm just not hungry. So, not hungry, and the weight is coming off. I'm never hungry. And when I'm hungry, I just eat until I'm not, and then I don't eat again until the next day. So I guess it is somewhat intermittent fasting, even though I don't call it that. And the weight has come off, the inflammation is gone. I can do things I couldn't do 20 or 30 years ago because I've always had the inflammation. We've quote unquote cheated a couple of times. One night we had French fries, and we both were just in agony after we had French fries. We both got inflamed. We both felt bad. So I now know potatoes are a trigger for me for inflammation. So I'm not saying carnivore is for everyone. I will leave a couple of links in the description below. I will tell you, it has dramatically changed our lives. Dave has lost 50 pounds. I have lost an additional 30. This week alone, I've lost 3. I no longer used to be able to, under my knees, there was always a pocket of inflammation. You could touch it. I don't have pockets of inflammation anymore. It is radically different. Life is radically different. So, enough about diet. Oh, and one more thing. that weight loss has all been without working out or walking. And we can do that much easier now, especially once, you know, summer's over and the humidity is less and it's less icky to walk because there's no inflammation. And we, you know, as of today, I've lost 52 pounds since we left Pennsylvania. He's lost 50 in the last 3 months. So exercise is becoming easier. And so health update done. So I recently shared my kids. Let me grab one here. In a video, I do other cross stitch. I don't really consider the kids cross stitch. They're more embroidery. So I have currently I'm actively working on 2 projects and then Christmas ornaments. I won't show the Christmas ornaments because, well, obviously they're gifts. And in case somebody who is a recipient of one of those ornaments watches this, I don't want to spoil their Christmas. So I will put a picture of the design right here, and I will show you where I'm at as of today, which is the 22nd of June. This is Here Comes the Sun by Shannon Christie Designs. I recently showed this in a weekly update video, so I haven't worked on it since then. It goes very quickly, and I am enjoying it. The next one is an Etsy shop design. I am not pleased with the pattern. I like the design. I do not like the way the pattern has stitched up. It is far bigger than it says it was supposed to be. So I will try to get it all in frame. I will put a picture right here. See if I can do this. It's huge. Yeah, it's not all showing up. So even if I stood up, you couldn't see all of it. This is for Dave. He loves Rick and Morty. It's for his office here at home. I need to finish this one. There's not a lot left to do. It's just a matter of me sitting down and stitching it. So I need to put an audiobook in or put on floss tube and book tube and just spend a day stitching and catching up on videos, and then I can check that one off and move on to another piece. I have plenty of other pieces to stitch. I need to get some finishes this year. I have, other than my shoes, I have one other finish this year. I'll show it to you. Hang on. So here's my finish for the year. I didn't do the best finishing job, but that's okay. It sits on the mantle in the month of February. I will put a link to the pattern in the description down below. I changed the threads. I'm notorious for changing floss. Cross stitching is my favorite non-reading pastime. Sorry, we're having intermittent thunder today, and the girls do not like thunderstorms. Especially Fireball and Felicity. Both are on team anti-thunder. So that's the cross stitching update. Not a huge one, but I'm making progress, and that's all that matters. I was going to pop out into the garden and show my wonderful tomatoes, but the weather is not conducive to that today. So I will insert a couple montage right here. And I love tomatoes. Yes, they are not on the carnivore diet, but I am not 100% carnivore by any sense of the word. And I love me a good tomato. I can't imagine life without them. And I have a bumper crop this year, and they're huge. So that's a little life update. Nothing really exciting. Leave a comment down below if you have questions about carnivore or how we eat. Feel free to, send me a message on Instagram or leave a comment down below. Is it for everybody? No. Can I recommend it based on personal experience? Yes. Yes, I can. I see the difference in my husband every single day. I feel the difference every single day, even on a modified carnivore. So I will happily answer what questions I have. If you have cross-stitching questions, please let me know. I will gladly help. It is not complicated. It is relaxing. It gives you something to do as you listen to a book, if other than clean the house or walk the dog. So there's always that. Leave a comment down below, like and subscribe, and I will see you here next time at the Protagonist Pop